it's Sweety Pie and welcome back to my channel. Today we are, as the title suggests, looking at the Kat Von D Fetish palettes. I have both of them here, and at first I was like, okay, well maybe I should just do a video on the face palette because that's the palette that came out first in Canada. And then I was like, you know what? I'd rather just buy both, and I had to wait a little bit to get this one. So yeah, if it's coming out a little bit like late, I'm sorry, but I wanted to try out all of the eyeshadows, all of the blushes, all of the highlighters, all that good stuff. I wanted to form a good opinion because when I went on Sephora, and I'm sure this is going to be like, I'll put a timestamp right here of where my ranting stops, but I saw a lot of reviews on Sephora of people that you could clearly tell weren't even purchasing the items and were just commenting out of spite and negativity. And honestly, I have a hard time trusting the Sephora review pages now, especially with everything that's come out about Sunday, is it Sunday Riley? I think it's Sunday Riley. It's just, you know, it's just too easily corrupted. So I hope that you find my review of these two products helpful in thinking if you would like to purchase them. If you are not here to, you know, just be peaceful, and if you are not a fan of Kat Von D, then don't watch. Simple as that. Please don't watch. I know that I love Kat Von D. That is my spiel. I really do enjoy her makeup. I love the packaging of her products. I love the care that Looks Like goes into, and I say looks like because I don't know her, but the care that Looks Like goes into her products. I really do. I think she's just an amazing businesswoman. And yeah, I think her products are rad. I use so many of her products. I love her concealer. I love her foundation. I love her eyeshadows. And yeah, if you want to see an honest review on what I think of these compared to what I've used in the past from her, then stay tuned. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. First, we're just going to go into some information about both of these palettes. Then I am going to show you swatches. I'm going to show you me applying the Fetish palette, the face palette, and then you can skip over, and if you're watching this the day it comes out, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. But if you're watching this after that, then you can go check out my 2 looks, 1 palette using the Fetish palette. I do also apply the blush palette in that video as well. So yeah, you may find it helpful if you want to see how they apply and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get into some of the information about this palette. And yeah, remember, no hate needed, just love. If you do not like Kat Von D, I respect you, and I know exactly, you know, a lot of the reasons why people don't like her. And yeah, I choose to support her still. If that's not your gig, have an amazing day. All right, let's get into this. Yeah, I know. I made popcorn. I'm just gonna eat for a minute, and then we'll do this video. I literally just ate a bag of popcorn and watched Tati's new video. Let's get back to what we're here for. Alright guys, so let's get into the information of this video. I literally just sat and watched Tati's new video. I'm sure you'll see the clip at the end. I am so scatterbrained today. But let's get into the information. I have my handy dandy notebook. I know it's a different notebook than last time. I try to keep all my YouTube stuff in 2 notebooks. This one is actually my idea notebook, and my other notebook has now been dedicated to work, so I have to transfer information, and oh, it's been a mess. Anyway, I do have the information written down though. Like always, I like to do just a little bit of information. Like, I am no Jen Loves Reviews, but I do like to just skim over pricing, you know, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. First, the face palette. So this was 52 Canadian dollars. It has 3 never before seen previews of her Everlasting blushes. They are in Bathory, Salem, and Coven. and that is those ones. And then you have 3 of her Metal Crush highlighters. I've never had any of her Metal Crush highlighters. I do have her Metal Crush eyeshadows, but not the highlighters. I'm not sure if they're as glittery as these ones are, but these are pretty darn glittery. All right, and yeah, 2 of these are what is it? I think it's Magique and Telepathy are 2 never before seen shades, and then Rose Shock, yeah, Rose Shock is one of her previous shades. They are limited, this is limited edition, obviously it is her holiday palette. They are 2.5 grams each, but like this must be a lot thinner of a pan than the blushes are, because they say that all of them are 2.5 grams each. They do have dimethicone in them. They are vegan and cruelty-free. I think pretty much all of Kat Von D's items are vegan and cruelty-free, so yeah. Is there anything else? The one thing that I did find odd is that the shelf life on this palette, the highlighters are 6 months and the blushes are 12. I don't know, like, maybe they just couldn't, you know, they don't have as many preservatives in them or what, but it would just be weird to, like, if you were following that, to know that you can use the blushes for 6 months longer than you can use the highlighters. Anyway, they have really mixed reviews on both of these palettes on Sephora. There's a lot of shady business going around. Like, some people are saying that these people that are commenting aren't even buying them, and it's just the people that don't like, you know, Kat Von D. But in all honesty, I do have some views on both of these palettes, so yeah, I'm gonna get into them. But let's just go into the information about the eyeshadow palette so that I don't have to do it again. Anyway, so the eyeshadow palette is $76 Canadian. It is also limited edition. There are 24 shades and each one is 1.1 grams. There are 13 mattes, 7 metallics, 2 metallic glitters, and 2 matte glitters, which are matte shadows that have glitter flecks in them. This is made in the USA, whereas the blush palette is made in Italy. There is mineral oil in quite a few of these shades, dimethicone as well, and there are also ultramarines if you are sensitive. There is a 12-month shelf life to this, as Kat Von, the Kat Von D team has predicted. And yeah, I don't think that $76 is, I just, sometimes high-end makeup, it can be intense. Now, $52 for the face palette I thought was a pretty fair price. You are getting 3 blushes in here, you are getting 3 highlighters. Now, let's go into what I think of both of these, and then we will kind of go into me applying some of the blushes, and yeah, just you know, that kind of chat. So guys, first of all, I'm going to dive into the blush palette, and we're going to talk about, you know, packaging, we're going to talk about what the products were like, you know, all that good stuff. So I'm going to start out by just saying the packaging on both of these palettes is really beautiful, honestly. The blush palette is a very toned down pink, very like, I don't know, baby pink. I'm trying to explain it while looking at it. And it is written in these whip rope style embroidery. And I do think it is really gorgeous. They don't feel like super flimsy, and I don't think a lot of people got the reason for the rim being like this. I think they were trying to resemble rope, like something, you know, it's tied kind of like that. Now, I can't see any cardboard missing from my palette. And obviously when I do swatches, I will show you, like there's a tiny little bit right here, but I will always prefer a palette made out of cardboard rather than a palette made out of plastic, because at the end of the day, this is just makeup, and I don't want to pollute the earth more than I have to, you know, feed my addiction to makeup. And then on the back, it is just your, you know, that standard, you know, They put it on every palette, the really shiny standard. And yeah, you have the names of the palette, You have the names on the palette. There is Rose Shock, Magique, Telepathy, Bathory, Salem, and Coven. And then you have obviously the information. Inside the palette, there is quite a large mirror, but again, it's not going to stand like this or anything. It folds all the way back though, so you can put it on your desk like this, which I do prefer. And yeah, so there is a rope around the mirror, which I thought was really cool. Now, these pans, you can tell like the highlighters are in a plastic pan, I'm assuming because they are like her Metal Crush formula, and the blushes are actually in a metal pan. So feasibly, it would be probably difficult to depot this entire palette just because I don't know how easy these plastic pans come out. So you are kind of like stuck with it being in the palette if that matters to you. Other than that, like, I really enjoyed this palette. I think that it is really pretty. Now, as for the products inside the palette, I do not like wearing these highlighters as highlights on the cheek. I am today actually wearing Rose Shock as a highlight. And in all honesty, when you're actually up close to me and you can actually see what my skin looks like, it's really chunky and it's very glittery. Now, if you don't mind a glittery highlight, by all means, I think that you would love these. They are so, so pretty. And I have them on as an inner corner highlight. I have Telepathy on my inner corner. I love using these on the inner corner. Anywhere else, I don't like them. I would not use these as, you know, highlights on my nose or on my cheekbones or my chin. I can't do it. So if you're thinking that these are going to be some like really reflective, you know, stay in place where you put them type of highlights, that's not what you're getting. If you've tried her Metal Crush highlighters before, I'm pretty sure that this is like a very similar formula, because I remember getting her Metal Crush palette that had some, it was like the mini, what was it called? Metal Matte palette, and her Thunderstruck Metal Crush eyeshadow is in there, and it is like a gold glittery eyeshadow. So assumably it's the same formula. I don't like the glitter, and I don't like how they didn't really tell you that in the description on Sephora. That was kind of a letdown. But the blushes, on the other hand, I love the blushes. Okay, at first, for some reason, when I first started using them, there wasn't a ton of pigment. Like, I couldn't get them to pick up. But now that I'm starting to use them, like I've used them probably 20 times now, the pigment is actually coming off more. So I don't know if you had to get through like a thin layer to, you know, get to the product, but they've been working really beautifully. I will put in a clip. I'm going to actually, I'll film it maybe tomorrow, and I'm going to put one blush on each, like I'll put, you know, Bathory on one cheek, and then I'll put Salem on the other, so you can see two of them in action. I will say I was let down at first. I definitely was let down with this palette at first. And then I thought about it and I was like, well, I kind of want to return it. Like, I was like kind of bummed. I was like, what am I going to do with this? But the more I used it and the more I found uses for it, I was quite happy. As well, I think that these make amazing eyeshadows, although I would not buy this just to use this as eyeshadows. I would never ever do that. So yeah, anyway, it's a mixed bag. I don't think this is an awesome product for me, but I think that there are a lot of people out there that would enjoy these products. So it's all in what you think is worth it. If you want to support Kat Von D, if you're looking for blush shades along these lines, and if you don't mind a glittery highlight. There are always variables in products that you're going to spend your money on. And if they're going to be good enough, you know, or if you're going to be able to work with them. Now, would I purchase this after trying it? I don't know. Like, I don't think so, honestly. I just think that I'm gonna make this work because I have it, but if I could choose to not have it, I probably wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't be crazy without it. Although I do love these as an inner corner highlight, like they are, they're amazing. And if you mix these with like some water, some setting spray, oh my gosh, they're absolutely beautiful. I just think that, you know, for what this is supposed to be, it's not amazing. Now, if this had been half the size and was like a blush and eyeshadow palette, maybe. But it's pretty large. It's pretty large for what it is. So yeah, let's go into the eyeshadow palette. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch both of them. I'm going to show you me using the blush palette, and then we will do, you know, just a little outro, you know. So yeah, guys, now we're going to talk about the eyeshadow palette. So as I said, there are 24 shades in here. I was going to open it, but I want to show you the outside as well, and you'll be able to see it in the swatches. I will show you like a close-up of what my palette looks like, but this is it. It is quite large. It's a little bit bigger than my full-out hand. Mind you, I do have pretty small hands, like my face is not even... So let's just do face comparison. It's probably a little bit larger than my actual face. Anyways, the packaging is very similar, but this one is just done in black. So it's like a black, very, you know, crazy leather feel, and then it has the embroidery which says fetish on it with the whip for the eye, very cool, and Kat Von D on it, and then all of the shade names on here. And I think it's cool that she does this. Not only does she put the shade names on the back of the palette, but she also puts them in the palette. So it's pretty cool. Again, same setup as the face palette, a rope around the mirror. This one is a much larger mirror though. Mind you, it does not stay up, though it does fold all the way over. So you can set it on your desk, which is so important to me. Anyways, that is the packaging, and I'm just looking around now. This one is made a little bit better than my blush palette, although I've had my blush palette for a little bit longer. This one does not have like anything showing, but it does have the rope detailing around the sides where it's just like etched out to look like rope. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, the magnet is very strong on these as well. Anyway, these are the shades in the palette. I have different thoughts on, you know, some of the different shades. I have done quite a few looks. You can go on my Instagram and check that out, as well as I will have a video up. I'm sure you heard in the intro, I will have a video up showing 2 looks that I did, this one and another one. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about the shades in this palette. Let's, you know, do a whole swatch fest. I think that the best way for me to explain the shades is just, you know, do swatches and, you know, talk a little bit about each shade. I know this might be a little bit long, but I will put, which if you've watched this long, it doesn't matter, but I will put timestamps in the description, like, you know, I mostly try to, you know, so you guys can skip around. You want to know the information, you want to see the face palette, you want to see the eye palette, I'll let you skip around. So yeah, let's go into the swatches of this baby, and I will kind of tell you about the products and what I actually think of each kind of one. Does that make sense? And I will also swatch the Fetish palette, and I will throw in the clip of me. Did I already throw it in? I can't remember now. I will, if I have not thrown it in, I will throw in the clip of me.
Hey guys, so we're going to look at the Fetish from Kat Von D, and as you can see, I really didn't have any damage on my palette. I think this palette's really cool looking, honestly. Kat Von D always has such awesome designs. Like, come on, you cannot, like, it's amazing. Anyway, let's go into the shadows. So the first one I'm swatching there is Nylon, then there is Kink and Deviant, Blindfold, and Whip. And I'm going to swatch them on my hand. So yeah, that first one is Nylon. It is like a grayish brown matte, really, really pigmented. Kink, again, it's not the easiest color to work with, but it is very pigmented. Then we have Deviant, which is like a metallic purpley color, and Blindfolded is your like standard kind of, what is that shade? It's kind of, I don't know, browny purple. And then Whip is a matte kind of black that has silver sparklies in it. Then we have Suspension, and Sex is that orange one. It is so good. Oh, look at that orange one right there. And then Rope is really beautiful too. It's a copper. And then we have Latex, and Obsession is that dark. You see that dark blue there? That is a harder shade to work with as well. Then Shibari is that metallic green there. Corset is the purple. And then Cuffs, Le Petite Mort. And I think I do Submissive as well in this swatch. Anyways, so oh yeah, and then Chastity is actually at the beginning there. Chastity is one of her like flaky metallic shades. It is very, very pretty though with a glitter glue. And I just noticed how fast I actually went here. So I may just pause the palette picture so I can kind of explain. But yeah, Chastity is that really, it's like a really, really glittery, fallouty shade that you need glitter glue for. And then Shibiri, that green is so pretty. And the purple Corset, again, a little bit harder of a shade to work with, but so freaking beautiful. Then Cuffs. Cuffs is the silver, and I never use silver, but I love silver. So I have used this in a couple looks, and it is a very good silver, although it does need a sticky base. I find that putting this on the lid without anything can be a bit of a pain. Now we have Le Petite Mort. Now, I love this color. I think this is one of the most pigmented greens I've ever had. It's so freaking beautiful. On the video, two looks, one palette. What am I thinking? I did a look with this, and you can go watch that. I will be putting it up after this one. And then lastly, we have Submissive, which is really close to Chastity, and it's another one of those really kind of flaky shades that definitely needs a glitter glue. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. And oh yeah, and Rubber is actually the black in the palette. And yeah, let's go into that one. I start, I think, by doing, yes, there's Rubber. That is an amazing, amazing, amazing black, guys. It's really pigmented. And Fixation is darker than you would think on the eyes. I thought that this would be a really amazing transition color. And honestly, I think that you need to be careful with it because it can sometimes get like too pigmented. Almost. I don't know. You'll see it when you use it, but if you get this palette. But yeah, as like if you wanted to use that as your all over the, you know, like a matte cream shade, that's a little too dark for my skin tone. It would probably be perfect for a little bit darker skin tone. Just not mine. Naughty is another gray shade, but it is a lot more brown gray than Nylon. Nylon's almost on the purple side of gray. And then we have, what is that one? S&M. And S&M is a true like blue gray. I really like, I love that there's so many grays in this palette because you never get grays. Anyway, and then lastly we have, did I do Stiletto or Dominatrix? I'm just going through the swatches there. Yeah, I think I did Dominatrix, honestly. No, you know what? I probably did do Stiletto. Stiletto is the purpley tone. Yes, I did do Stiletto. Stiletto is like the purpley toned shimmer. It is very pretty, and oh gosh, it feels like butter. And then last we have like literally my favorite row in the palette, and or not row, but like chunk of shades, and that is Dominatrix, Bondage, and Safe Word. Dominatrix is a true red shimmer, and it is on the right side, and then you have Bondage on the left side, and it is the true red matte. It is so pretty. It can get very dark, but so pretty. Those two colors together, bomb. And then you could use Safe Word as your transition, which is like your rosy kind of transition shade. Very, very pretty. I was so, this palette, you know, there's a couple shades that were harder to work with, like Latex and, you know, Corset and like Obsession, but you just build slowly, guys. I'm telling you.
The swatches and, you know, my thoughts on these palettes. Again, I do enjoy both of these. I would much prefer just having the eyeshadow palette over having the blush and the eyeshadow palette. Although I like it, it's not a terrible product. It's just not my kind of product. This is like so much better. I love the shades in here. I think this really got me to step out of my comfort zone. Like, I used to do beautiful looks, and I think I got out of that a little bit because I was just like in a neutral zone for a bit, and really this has been getting me out of that neutral zone. And a couple other palettes too that I have yet to mention in a video. I will probably do like a palette update soon. You can check out my last one though. I will link it down in the description. Anyways, I enjoyed this video. Please do not leave hate on my video. I'm not about that life. I'm so sorry to people that have been hurt by Kat Von D because she, you know, chooses to do some different things with her life. But I promise you that, you know, everyone does their own thing in life. But these people that kind of get put in the spotlight, they get a lot of their stuff aired out, and I just feel like it's not that fair. But anyway, guys, that is not my place to say. I am not a drama channel, so I hope you guys have a really wonderful day, night, evening, whatever. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did, and go watch one of these videos that will be popping up very soon. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever. Mwah. Bye!